Hello everyone, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin Up. I am looking over to the side because I am trying to get my iPad set up. I didn't know it went off while I was in the other room, but that's how things happen with me anymore. How is everybody today? I hope you are doing well. And let me turn this down, get us in focus, make us bigger. Okay, we're ready. So how is everybody today? I hope you had a great weekend. I did. Been busy, been gone. And now I'm ready to do my video. I've been working on a yard sale. I'm going to have this coming Saturday, selling lots and lots and lots of craft stuff, stamping stuff, just a lot of stuff. I'm clearing out my basement, and I'm going to redo my stamp room a little bit, I think. So with all that being said, I do want to tell you a little bit. Stampin' Up has a really good deal going on with their kits. It's called the Kit Collection. If you go to my online store, ritaholmes.stampinup.net, and hit on Shop Now, then the Kit Collections, you'll see them. And they're buy one, get one 50% off. And Stampin' Up's doing a little different than a lot of places. You can get your highest priced kit at half price. So say you order one of the kits that's $19, you add that in first. Then if you get a kit that's $23, then you put that in second, and it'll come up half price at $11.50. If you put the higher price one in first, they're going to take the 50% off the next one you do. So make sure your highest price kit is what you order on the second line of your order under your first kit. And that's a really good deal that's going on this month. And I'm hoping to, I've got a couple kits ordered. And when they come in, I hope to be able to do maybe a kit or two on here with you. So with that being said, I would like for you to share my video if you can. Subscribe to my channel if you've never been here. I'd love to have you. I have a lot of videos out there. And I hope it's your style and something you'd like. And maybe you'll watch them. As I turn my phone, if you'd hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, at least sometime during the video, and share the video also. I would love for you to do all that. So let's turn ourselves around, and you can see what we're doing tonight. I got to stand up. A lot of process here. Someday I'll be able to do it where I can just switch things over. Let me move the phone over just a little bit and get that black out of there. There we go. So here's what we have. This is our card we're going to be doing. And right here's all my information. Let's see if I can... Oh, why does it do that? There we go. I don't know. Facebook changed the video, how we do things on here, and it wasn't this way last week when I did a video, so I don't know what's going on. So you're going to have to just bear with me. Hopefully I'm not going to touch anything else, and we're going to be able to do our card. So now you can see everything. I call this a frame and a card because we're going to cut out a frame, and I use the Hues of Happiness paper and that to do this one. I also did one like this with DSP down here with it's what's it called? It's called He's the Man, which is this paper right here. And it's all masculine paper. It has solids on one side, prints on the other. That's for like grilling, classic cars, ties. And then we have the campers with like what you see, what I'm doing right here, which is the back side of here. And so we have that. And so I used the front side of this one. And then the campers is what I used on this card right here. And this also comes with cutouts. They're like die cuts. They're already cut. You just pop them out. And that's what I used for this saying, for the little Volkswagen bug up there. And for this wishing you a happy Father's Day, I did stamp that part, but I stamped it on this piece right here and cut it to fit my card because it has like that torn edge at the top. And then I also on the back of this put a piece of lighter colored cardstock that you could write a sentiment back there. So that is just another sample I wanted to show you, the man card. And then with the, goodness, also, whoa, there goes things flying. And also here's the stamp set that goes with that. And I used Wishing You a Happy Father's Day out of it. But it has all of these, and it has dies that you can use with it, which are these dies right here. So there you go. That's the piece, the man set. Here's the Hues of Happiness, and what I used was, I actually used it in the yellow, but it's a piece like this, which has, I used all the yellow up. I already cut it all out. But it has these colors, and looks like that went this way. It's puzzle. And then it had a yellow strip here, and that's how I cut out all of my yellow flowers, which are right here. And you can basically cut out the whole sheet of paper. So it looks like I need to cut 2 more dies though for this card tonight. But I do have the bigger ones that we will be using already cut, because I cut out the whole sheet of yellow paper. So anyway, I will get to this, and while I do that, I think I will cut out a leaf or 2 so that you can see the leaves cut out. So we'll cut out on this one. I'll show you how easy the dies are to line up and do that with. So let's put our card up here. We will also be using on the stitched rectangle dies, we will be using the 3rd and 4th die cut here to cut our piece out of the yellow and then our piece out of the white. And I'll show you how you can get that lined up so that it works pretty well for yourself. Here are the dies for the, it's called Blossoming Happiness, and it cuts out your flowers here and your leaves. Okay, so let's get started. I showed you everything. The stamp set that I did use was Biggest Wish because I used the happy and the birthday. Okay, so let's get on our way with this. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I cut the flowers. So I'm going to bring in my okay, here is my Stamp and Boss machine. I have my magnetic plate on here. I bought it, and I'm using it to see how it works. They've already taken it back down because some people said that you can see in here there's 3 layers. There's your magnet, a piece of, this is like a healing surface with that's magnetic, and then like a little cushion in there, and a steel plate. So your magnet is up here, and that's where you put everything, or anyway, that's where it is held. People are saying that this is coming apart after a lot of cuts. Stampin' Up! Didn't like that, so they've taken it back down. You can't order it right now, but I had it over here. I'm going to use it tonight. I'm sorry that you can't get it. I do want to keep using it to see if for myself that this doesn't work, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my piece of DSP on here, bring in my die cuts, and for the biggest flower, which is this one right here, I'm going to use my little pointer thing. This little piece of flower right here has a little niche that comes up, okay? So I am going to use my die cut, and there's a, my die cut, there's a little niche that comes up right here, so I know that's what's going to match. So I lay that over top of that, and then I just wiggle it in there and make sure I have it fit. And that's how I line that up. Okay. I'm going to pull this up just a hair because I'm actually going to do two things. I'm going to cut out this little, even though it's not a whole piece, I'm going to use it. So I'm going to cut out that leaf right there. That's not a whole piece. I'm going to cut out this leaf up here, which is a whole piece, because I'm going to get the most I can out of cutting in here. And then I'm going to bring in the die here that matches this flower. I think this is one that matches because it has that long spot there. And I'm going to see if it'll fit on there with that leaf in there. And I believe I might be able to get it to fit. Okay, so I think I can cut out all four things and be okay. Let's try it. And then I'm not wasting really any cutting time. I'm not wasting any paper. So the table's going to wiggle. I am sorry for that. But we're going to run this through. There we go. So let me take this down for a second so we can get our flowers up out of here. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to lay these out whichever way they go, which, heck, I don't know even. This one I think goes in here to save room. Yes. And then my little one goes right here. I like using these magnetic pieces from Stampin' Storage and their little sleeves. Excuse me. Okay, so now I can pop out the flowers that, and the little leaves. And see, I'm going to use this part. I'm going to make it work for me is what I'm going to do. Okay, and I have still some more room I can cut out, and I have one more leaf. This leaf doesn't have a die, but you could actually cut that out by fussy cutting it if you would want to do that. So let's set all of this to the side. I just want to show you how they cut out, how easy it is to cut out that paper, and you can cut that whole piece into your for your cards. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring in my card, which is 4 1/4 by 11. I'm going to bring that over, get a hold of my little thing I like to use right there. So I have that folded over. That's going to be the front of my card. I've got 2 pieces, 5 1/4 by 4, which is going to go on my card like this. And this one will go inside my card. So what I am going to do for this part of my card, I want to go ahead and try to cut these out together because I want my hole to be, I want them to be even. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to pick this up. Sure I am. And I'm going to open it. There we go. So I'm going to make sure that my card is centered right here where I want it. Then I'm going to take, I've got some removable adhesive right here. If you have any kind of removable adhesive or a little glue dot, I'm going to be over in this area to cut. So I'm going to hold that there. I'm going to pull this up, and I'm just going to put just a little bit of removable adhesive right there so that I can I'm going to try to get that on straight. Might not. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my littlest, and I'm going to take my biggest one just because I want to make sure I put it in the right place so I have room. And I'm going to put my little one down here, right inside. That's where I'm going to want it, about in that area. Straighten up my card, make sure that's straight. It's on my magnetic board. I could use a piece of washi tape to put it down if I want, whichever. I'm going to move this over just for a second. I tell you what, I feel like I got something stuck in my throat. We are going to put everything together. We're going to put this in here and we're going to run it through a couple of times, because I'm going through 2 pieces of cardstock. So let's run it through. And it might stick in some places. We'll see. Okay. These are heavy. Get that out of the way for a second. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to pull my white one off. Okay. I'm going to lay that to the side a minute. I'm going to pull this off. And there, it brought up I have one little place where it's stuck. I can smooth that out. Or I can take my little scissors, because I brought them in here, just in case I had a fuzzy. And I can trim that fuzziness off. Okay, there's the yellow part. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my white back on here. I'm going to get my bigger die, and I'm going to lay it over where my white is, or where my other die was cut out, and I'm just going to center that the best I can. If it's not perfect, it's okay, because I'm not perfect. So how can I think my stamping is going to be perfect, right? So now let's bring the big shot, I've been thinking about that because I have one that I'm getting rid of. Yay. I'm going to clean out that craft room, make room for more new stuff. That's what I'm doing. Actually, I want to get my room all cleaned up, and I'm going to rearrange some stuff, so it'll be good. Okay, let's run this one through, and then we're going to be done with the die cut machine. So what I have here is I have a frame I could use on something else, and then I have my white cut out to put on my card. Now, before I put that on my card, another thing I'm going to do, let's move all this out of the way. We don't need it anymore, and I'm glad. I'm glad we're done with that part. I'm going to bring my card back in. I'm going to bring my white in. And another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and since this is going to be down, I'm just going to put run a piece of removable adhesive there. I'm going to put my white in here. And the reason why I'm doing that with some removable adhesive is because I'm going to stamp my birthday, my happy birthday, which goes on this piece because this is closed. I'm going to do that again since I've opened and closed it. And what I'm going to do is put that on there so I can stamp, and that way it'll be held in place. So let's stamp the birthday first, and I'm going to stamp that in Pear Pizzazz. So we're just going to ink that up to where the birthday is all inked. There we go. We're going to bring that in, and we're going to stamp it down here kind of low. Birthday. And when that dries, it'll look much better. It's because it's so bold. And we're going to bring in the early espresso. And that is what I'm going to stamp the happy with. So let's get the happy. And we're going to go right here. We're going to stamp happy. So happy birthday. Okay, let's move those out of the way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring this up. Well, first let's go ahead. We can pull this one up and we can add some adhesive to it and go ahead and put it down since we're done with the inside. So let's go ahead and put that on here. Should be fine. There we go. My frame, what I did on this was I went ahead and popped it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this. What do I do with my little scissors? There they are. I'm going to go ahead and put some pieces around here because I want it to hold that frame up. And I'm going to go ahead and I know I'm going to have that over here in the corner, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and put this on here. This is going to go on this corner. Might as well use this upright. I like using up my my edges of my dimensionals. So let me put one here, because I really want this to stand up. Then I'm going to take a piece of this and put down here. See if this will fit over here a little bit. I think I'll cut it in two. Put a piece right here and a piece right here. That way I used up the whole sheet. And that's pretty cool, huh? Okay, let's go ahead and peel off everything. Shoot pieces across the room. That's all right. And you can lay this flat if you want. I did on the masculine card. I just went ahead and laid, glued it directly down. And that's okay too. But I also like it put up more of a frame style. More 3D looking. Making sure I got all my pieces off. Looks like it. And actually, you can see the lines where I had this laying when I had it on here. So I can basically line this up with these lines and have my card. So there that is. We don't need the frame, so we'll set that to the side. Now with my flowers, we're going to take a dark one and a light one, and then we're going to take a, see if I got the one that I used. Yeah, one of these. So that's going to be our flowers. And then we're going to have our leaves. What I did to my flowers, because I wanted to make them look kind of old and stuff. And like this white that's on here, I don't really need it. I want it to be closer cut. So I am going to cut some of that off. And sometimes we just don't get our die on there exactly how we want it, and that's fine. And what I'm going to do to that flower is I'm going to take, and I'm just going to glue that on. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to be gluing that right. Well, I'm not actually really gluing it. I'm going to use a dimensional and just put in the center of it because I don't want them in the way of anything. And I'm going to stick that on. Trying to see how I want it on there. That looks good. So we've got that on there. Now to move it up just a hair. Just away from the birthday a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to take my scissors and just open them up, and I'm going to kind of, it doesn't really tear it. Tell you what, I am sorry that my voice is kind of going. But this kind of knocks off the edges and makes them a little tattered, I guess is the best word for it. Just some tattered edges. So it's just going around it until I get it to look like what I want. Some places didn't look as torn as I wanted it to, so we're just bringing it down. I'm going to go ahead and do it to this one too. Let's see, I'm just kind of going around it. I'm not worrying about if the paper bends or anything, because in a minute I'm going to bend it all up anyway. Makes people nervous when you do that sometimes with paper. They're like, ah, don't do that, it's too pretty. But nah, it is pretty. We're just going to make it prettier for this card. Okay, so we have our edges a little torn. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and I'm just going to bend them up. Then I'll open it back up. And I want to bend this side a little bit more because I could tell that wasn't getting bent too much. And be careful opening it because you can rip it pretty good. So what I'm going to do with this flower, now that I've got him all, gives him some dimension. I'm going to put a dimensional on the behind him. And I'm going to just lay it on my card right over that top the flower I just put on. Okay, I'm going to do the same with this. I'm just going to kind of fold it up. And you don't have to do that. You can have it all lay flat if you want. That's up to you. I like doing all this. I think it gives it some dimension. I'm going to take another dimensional. I'm going to stick on the back of this one. And I'm going to add it right there. Okay, so there's my flower. Now let's put our leaves on. And you know, I took that one leaf and just cut it. So I think I'm going to use it over on this side, because then I can kind of, I'm going to cut that little end off. I don't want that on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, and I'm just gluing these. So I'm just going to put a little dot of glue in there. Not much. I'm going to stick it up in there a little bit. I'm going to take this leaf right here. I don't like all that white that's right down here at the bottom. So I'm going to trim some of that off. I didn't have that exactly centered right on my flower, on my die cut on the piece of DSP. But that's okay. We can just trim it. Here again, I'm going to take the glue and just add just a little bit, not a whole ton. And I'm going to stick it by this leaf, and you'll never know that that's only a part of a leaf. So, you know, make sure you use everything up that way. That way you don't really have a lot of waste. Okay, I'm going to bring this one in. And this is why I did only put one dimensional up there, is because I wanted to be able to add these to underneath there without running into anything. So we're just gluing this to where it will hold. It doesn't have to. Oh, where I shaved the papers getting all over my card. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add some dimensionals. And what I used was the Rustic Metallic, which is part of the He's the Man suite. But I just loved them with these flowers, so that's what I used. So let's put a few of those on here. We'll put one right in the center up here of the flower. And there we go. That is our card. Whoops. That I just flipped all over the place. That is our card that we did. Here is the first one I did right here. That's the one we did tonight. So that's the difference. And you can't really tell a whole lot of difference in them. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you try it. The frames are easy to make, and therefore you've got two frames, and you can pull these back apart and use both of them. If you're using removable adhesive, you just remove that adhesive. Where this stuck a little bit, where I pulled it, I'm just going to cut those off. And therefore I have a couple of triangles or rectangles that I can use, and I even have a little frame if I wanted to use it on something. So that was our extra pieces that we cut when we were cutting our frames. I hope you liked the card. I enjoyed doing it for you, and I hope that you take advantage and make some of them. Please remember to give me a thumbs up if you liked my video. If you thought something was wrong I could do better, you can leave it in the comments for me, and I take those very seriously. And you can do that. I would appreciate it either way. Thank you for stopping by and seeing my video, and I do hope that you stop by more often. Have a great day or night, whatever time you're watching it, or morning, doesn't matter. Put those down where you can see them just a little bit more. And I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Bye.